From Gokul Global University Physiotherapy Department. Subject: Exercise Therapy Part 2. Today's topic is abnormal and pathological gait cycle. Causes for locomotion impairment. There are mainly two types of causes. One is physiological variables and other one is pathological variables. Now what are all the physiological variables? Age, gender, occupation, clothing, assistive devices, body structure, footwear, and psychological states of individual, which are all the physiological variables affecting on person's gait cycle. Now age. How age is affecting on gait cycle? When the person born start crawling, after that doodle walking, after 5 years normal gait pattern, and it will change in old age. As we can see in the picture, the young age person is walking straight, and when their age is growing, the gait pattern become changed. Now gender. It plays a major role in the gait. Decreased step length, increased steps, decreased stride length can be seen in females. The cadence in female greater than males. More pelvic rotation in females because of wide pelvic area. These are the gender differences in gait cycle. Now occupation. Continuous adaptation of one position may cause some changes in the muscle and soft tissue, which leads to change in the gait pattern. The sailor who has to adapt wide base to get stability. Occupation. Some other examples are soldiers with raised chest, dhobis or rickshawers pullers with kyphosis. Now clothing. The cloth which we wear also changes our gait pattern. The tight clothing may cause some deviation in the gait pattern. One example, as we can see in the picture, how clothing are affecting on person gait. Assistive devices. The gait seen in the patients who used to assistive relatively shows different gait pattern from the normal person because they are using assistive devices like canes, crutches. Body structure depends on the structure of the individual. The walking pattern may change. The fat person walking pattern is different from the thin person. Footwears. The person who wears shoes from the birth may have the proper straight and non-deviated hip, knee and ankle interaction gait. Due to the problems in the footwear may also causes the deviation or improper gait pattern. Psychological state of individual. Much more difference can be seen in the gait pattern depends on the psychological state of individual. The person with sad mood will have all parameters of gait in decreased mode, and it will reverse in joyful person. Now pathological variables. In pathological variables, neurological gait, muscular weakness gait, joint or muscle impairment gait, leg length discriminancy gait, and painful gait. In neurological gait, Parkinson gait, suffering gait or frustrating gait. The patient adopt the flexed posture because of then COG will fall anteriorly. Parkinson's gait. The patient will have short step, lack of heel strike and toe off, loss of arm swinging and lack of pelvic rotation. In this gait, heel strike will be absent, so toe strike first and hence call it toe heel gait. This type of gait may be seen in Parkinson's disease, Wilson disease, and cerebral atherosclerosis. Hemiplegic gait. The person rotates the hip sideways during the swing phase. Due to the hip flexor tightness, places the foot in the flattened manner or toe first before the heel strike. There is absence of heel strike due to the plantar flexor contracture. Upper limb is flexed in the affected side. The steps are lengthened towards the affected side comparatively with the unaffected side, called circumdatory gait. Now ataxic gait. There are two types of ataxic gait, cerebral ataxia and sensory ataxia. Cerebral ataxia, hypotonia, lacking of coordinated movements, drunken gait, and sway on lesion side. Now what are all the sensory ataxia? Can be seen in the taps dorsalis, DM, leprosy, and syringomyelia. Raises the foot in the air in uncertain manner. Steps on the floor slowly and spacewalk. It's seen in CP and in the exaggerated form of the paraplegia. Adductor tightness, knee might be flexed in the spastic diplegic cough gait. Muscle weakness gait. Gluteus medius gait. One side gluteus medius paralysis result in the Trendelenburg gait, and both side paralysis result in the duck walking. Now Trendelenburg gait. Weakness or paralysis of right side gluteus medius result in the pelvic drop over the left side. While going for the swing phase, opts to dropping gait. Duck walking gait. Both adductors are paralysis. Trunk is laterally bent. Stance phase. Both side lurching of the trunk happens while walking is called as a trunk walking or waddling gait. Gluteus maximum gait. Posterior pelvic tilt and COG shifted towards the stance hip. While walking forward and backward, movement of the trunk occur is called the rocking horse gait. Quadriceps or hand to knee gait. During the mid stance to transmit the weight on the stance lower extremity, the knee should be locked but not possible in the quadriceps weakness, so patient will do it by their hand. High stepping gait. DF are paralyzed, so PF overact. During heel strike, toe goes first on the strike, so patient will flex his hip and raise the foot and slap on the floor forcefully. Seize in the polyneuralgic Janurecumbrent. If the hamstring muscle are paralyzed, the knee goes for the hyperextension in the midstance and also during last stage of swing phase, no contraction of the hamstring is there, so knee will remain extension. Joint of muscular limitation gait. Toe tip gait. Foot remain in PF due to the contracture of PF or paralysis of DF, so that patient walk on the toes tip and that ball for the. This type of gait can be seen in the DMD and spastic diplegia. Calcaneal gait. Contracture of the DM or paralysis of the PF may causes the step DF foot. So there is absence of foot flat mid stance toe off stage. So patient will walk with heel or calcaneum. Hip flexor contracture gait. If it is contracted or hip joint is ankylosed, the flexion movement will be restricted. Half circumdictory gait, anterior pelvic tilt and lordosis. Stiff knee gait. If the knee is stiff, the patient hikes hip and clearly the foot from the foot floor and swing sideways with hip circumduction of abductor to propel the limb forward to reach the heel strike. Circumduction gait and hip adductor gait. Now leg length discrepancy gait. When the LLD is half inch in can be negligible comparative by pelvic tilt. If LLD goes up to the 1.5 inch, then adjust by the required position. If LLD goes more than 2 inches, leads to mark pelvic tilt and acquire deformity by the foot. Now painful or antalgic gait. When the patient have pain in joint of lower limb, then the shorten stance phase time, step length time, and reciprocal arm swing, limiting gain. Thank you. Part 2 ended. This gait videos you can prefer from YouTube.